Yep, that's good. Froggy, that lovely head of hair of yours is still safe. What do you think of these two blokes getting the head shot?
No, it's a great effort by these boys. Obviously, on behalf of us as a playing group, the Leukemia Foundation is quite close to our heart. Having lost Nicole Duncan, who was a long-time staff member and administrator of the club, so for Jimmy and Dara to shave their head for not just Nicole but the whole cause, and obviously the charity game this weekend, this Thursday, is a great effort. So, yeah.
Didn't think of joining them, Frog?
No, I'll let these guys do it. I don't know. I've kept the same haircut for a long time, so I'll probably keep rolling with that.
Darryl, can you step in?
Yep.
You obviously had quite an impressive head of hair there. How does it feel to not have it anymore?
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly on top now, but thanks very much for the compliment, I'll take that. But yeah, look, if we can just raise awareness any little bit, that'll help. The Leukemia Foundation is good. As Froggy said, in honour of Nicole, and in the pre-season we actually ran a tournament in our team's pre-season competition. We managed to raise some funds for the Leukemia Foundation as well, so we've got a strong connection with Nicole, so yeah, if we can raise awareness, it's great.
Froggy, obviously this is a huge test for the club on Thursday night. I don't think there's ever been two grand finalists that have met each other that neither have had a win yet. How do you sort of overcome that challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably different circumstances to what people expected coming into the Easter Thursday game, but it's going to make for a great game. Yeah, both of us would like to get our season somewhat on track a little bit. For us, it's obviously been quite a patchy start. We've done some really good stuff, and then just been blown away in portions of the game. So I think we've got to dig in a bit more. We've got to apply a bit more pressure. We've got to hunt the opposition a little bit more, and hopefully that's what we can do against Collingwood on Thursday.
Froggy, Tom Doedee played in the VFL on the weekend.
Yeah.
If he comes into the senior team, like what would he add?
He's tough. He's courageous. We've had some injuries in our defence over the start of the season, the 2 weeks. So, and he's certainly going to be a mainstay for us for the next 5 years. So, yeah, bring him in when he's ready to go. I watched a little bit of the VFL on the weekend. He did well. So, I guess up to the coaches whether they bring him in this week. But yeah, he's certainly going to add something to us.
It's something you've done a lot. Played a lot of VFL footy and then had to step up to AFL footy.
Yeah.
How hard is that step up going to be for him after playing the weekend for VFL?
I think we've got enough sort of experience and good players in our team that someone like Tom should have the confidence to come in and just do his little bit. He's probably not going to be best on ground first game back. Hopefully he is, but probably the other part of it is he's coming off a 12-month injury with his ACL, so obviously that takes a little bit of time as well. But yeah, as I said, he's going to be a mainstay for us. So if he's ready to go, let's get him in there and let him build his confidence and build his footy, and yeah, it'll be a real weapon for us.
You mentioned the injuries down there. We know there's no Kitty for the year. Connor's re-injured the hammy. How long does it take to get continuity in that part of the ground? How much of an issue is it potentially?
I mean, you never like changing the team due to injury, but I think we've got a fairly established core group of 10 to 12 to 15 defenders who could step up, like Jimmy and Dara. Obviously, there's other options like Zork going back or Kalachi going back. So I think we're okay in terms of we've got options there. It's more collectively as a team we've got to play better, and that's what we're hoping to do on Thursday.
The loss of the creativity maybe from Kitty and Connor, is that something you're confident that you can overcome, whether it's Zork or Jimmy or maybe another VFL boy that played on the weekend perhaps?
Yeah, certainly that's those two guys are our most creative kickers and ball users off half back, and obviously with someone like Richie retiring last year, like they're sort of your three half backs who you probably thought about in the last 12 months were the guys who can break open the game for us. So whether it's Zork or whether collectively we all sort of stand up. I don't have a specific answer for you. I mean, every team goes through that where there's key players that get injured, and that's where we've got injuries at the moment. So, presents an opportunity.
I probably weren't expecting the Pies to be without a win at this stage. What have you made of their season so far, their struggles?
We had opposition just before, and so probably similar to us in patches. They've shown that they're still a really quality team, and they're clearly not going to fold over. They're a proud club. They won the premiership for a reason last year, and they don't have too many personnel changes. So we're expecting their best, and they should be expecting our best. And hopefully, it's going to be a really good game on Thursday night with us coming out on top.
Ryan, you've been around, seen it all, I guess, over the years. What's your message to the other guys, especially considering you've had almost 2 weeks off between games, just whether you have to look for answers or just trust what you're doing is good enough? What's the mindset around finding answers?
Yeah, to be honest, the bye sort of worked for us a little bit in terms of it's just giving us a little bit of a reset. Let Fags and the coaches maybe analyse things a little bit deeper to find out where we're actually going wrong. And as I said, it's fairly patchy. In parts of the game we're playing as good as anyone, and then when teams have had momentum we haven't been able to stop it, and we just feel like our pressure and intensity of the ball and that sort of thing has just dropped away in those periods of time. So it's nothing too strategic that's going to change. It's more just consistent efforts for 4 quarters. Unfortunately, I know that's very cliche, and I'm sorry to throw that out to you, but we've just got to be better for longer. And in AFL, at the elite level, there's not much margin for error, and that's what we found in the first couple of weeks, and that's probably what Collingwood have found over the first 3 weeks.
Is that a bit confusing for you guys that you have been so good but so bad, especially for a team that's been so consistent over the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, not confusing when we watch the vision. Like, it's pretty clear that during the periods where we're kicking goals, we're outnumbering the opposition, we're running on top, we look really good, and then when they start to come at us, it sort of looks like everyone's a little bit reactive, and but I think it's something that we can change pretty quick. As Fake spoke about, we've been in this position before, so we know our season's not over, but we've got to try and turn it around this Thursday.
Right, is this a chance to put the grand final loss to sort of bed, or is there more to it? Because both sides haven't won this season now. Yeah,
I thought I might get that question. I think for us it's more about this season. We honestly haven't spoken about retribution for the grand final or anything like that. It's 2024 and trying to get our first win of the year. So at the moment that certainly hasn't been used as motivation. For some players maybe it is real motivation. But for me, and I think most of the guys, it's more about this season and trying to get that on track.
James, just on Tom Doedee, you were as close to him on the weekend as anyone.
Yep.
Do you think he's ready for the step up there for a level now?
I do think he is. I think Tom's a pretty outgoing. He fits in really well with the rest of the team, and it's not going to be an issue for him slotting into that group at all. He's very mature. He's played a lot of footy. And he was a leader down in Adelaide, so I think he was a leader on the weekend as well, so it'll be absolutely no issue for him stepping in. Yeah.
With Kitty not there, that's also a role you could potentially play.
Yeah.
I feel like you could, at some stage this season, step up and make a difference for us after that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just for me getting him to form back in the VFL. Whenever I string a few games together, hopefully then I'll come back into the team. But at the moment, it's just getting form back. Got dropped obviously against the Swans in the practice match. And I knew I didn't play well enough, so just getting form back, and that's all I have to do to get back to the top level.
Ryan, you mentioned how the team has been able to play really well in patches, obviously 2 sort of fast starts. Has it been frustrating then not to be able to capitalise on that so far in those first 2 games, and has the bye been a good opportunity, I guess, to sort of put that to bed?
A little bit, and probably the Carlton game more so than the Freo game, because the Carlton game, it was more just 1 quarter where we were outplayed, and and obviously we lost by 1 point, so it was a lot closer. I feel like against Freo, they did deserve to win. They controlled most of the game apart from that first quarter. So yeah, we sort of sit here. It's frustrating that we're maybe could be 1-1, but we're not. We're 0-2, which heightens things a lot. But that's all right. As I said, the bye gave us a bit of a chance to reset and start our season over again. So yeah.